Imagine this. You're holding a single penny. It's coppery, scratched, maybe even stuck to the bottom of a junk drawer. You think it's worth 1 cent. But what if that tiny coin could buy you a luxury home, a new car, or fund your retirement? It sounds impossible, right? But here's the shocking truth. One specific 2006 mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny recently hit the market for a staggering $206,000. And under the right conditions, these coins have sold for millions. Now, before you rush to empty your coin jar, let me ask you this. How many times have you handled change without looking at the date? If you've been ignoring your pennies, you might have been letting small fortunes slip right through your fingers. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of this coin, why it's worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can tell if you're sitting on the kind of penny that could change your life forever. But here's the catch. Not every 2006 penny is valuable. You'll need to know the secret signs. Miss them, and you might spend a life-changing coin on a pack of gum. Stay with me until the end, because I'm saving the most valuable variety, the one that could make you a millionaire, for the final reveal. Let's step back for a moment. The 2006 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, part of the Memorial Reverse series honoring Abraham Lincoln. Over 4 billion were produced, so how could something so common become so rare? The answer lies in errors, condition, and hidden varieties. Some of these pennies left the mint with dramatic mistakes. Double dies where parts of the design appear twice, off-center strikes that look like the coin's been pushed to one side, or planchets struck on the wrong metal. Imagine opening your wallet and finding a penny that's slightly misaligned. Instead of tossing it aside, you're suddenly holding a piece, worth tens of thousands. And then there's condition. Collectors pay exponentially more for coins in pristine, uncirculated shape. A flawless 2006 penny can jump from pocket change to a six-figure auction price faster than you can say, "Why didn't I check my coins sooner?" Now here's where it gets interesting. Some of the most valuable 2006 pennies have a specific doubling on the date or the word liberty, a barely noticeable detail unless you know exactly where to look. Miss it, and you could literally give away a small fortune. And before you think that's rare, I'll never find one, remember this. Every single valuable penny in history started in someone's change before it ended up in an auction catalog. That means yours could be out there, waiting. Here's the part you've been waiting for. The most valuable 2006 Lincoln Memorial penny ever recorded wasn't made of gold, didn't have a diamond embedded in it, and didn't come from a collector's vault. It came from circulation, everyday change, discovered by someone just like you. This particular coin was graded MS69, nearly flawless under a microscope, with a sharp strike, blazing luster, and zero visible wear. It sold $4,206,000, and that's just the documented sale. Certain ultra-rare varieties could break into the $1 million range if the right coin surfaces in the right auction. So what does this mean for you? It means your next step is to check your coins. Look for 2006 pennies with the D mint mark. Examine them under a magnifying glass for doubling, off-center strikes, unusual colors, or near-perfect surfaces. If you find one, get it professionally graded. Because here's the reality, the opportunity is disappearing every single day. Coins get spent, damaged, or lost forever. And the fewer there are, the higher the value climbs. Think about it. The difference between a penny in your pocket and a penny that buys your dream home is just knowledge. And timing. So before you walk away, make a promise to yourself. Don't let history or wealth slip through your fingers again. Check your change tonight. You might just be holding the key to a life you never imagined. And if you want more insider strategies to spot coins worth life-changing money, hit subscribe now, because the next video might just unlock your $1 million discovery. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, "This could change my life forever"? Sounds crazy, right? It's just 1 cent. But what if I told you there's a 2005 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark that could be worth more than a fully loaded luxury car? Or even your dream home? Right now, the market has seen one of these sell for a jaw-dropping $205,000. And here's the part that might keep you up tonight. Millions of these pennies are still in circulation, quietly sitting in drawers, jars, and glove compartments across America. You could be holding one right now and never even know it. Now, before you start emptying every coin jar in your house, let's take a journey. We're going to unravel why this tiny copper coin is commanding such staggering prices, how to spot the signs of value, and most importantly, How to make sure you don't let a fortune slip through your fingers. Let's start with a truth about rare coins. Their value isn't just about age. It's about rarity, condition, and a little something collectors call error appeal. The 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny is a perfect storm of all three. Now, you might be thinking, wait, don't all pennies have mint marks? Normally, yes. In 2005, pennies were struck at different mints, each leaving its tiny signature. But when a coin leaves the press without that mark, whether through a striking error or a blank die, it instantly becomes an anomaly. A treasure for collectors. Here's where it gets interesting. Not all missing mint marks are created equal. Some are worth a few dollars. But when you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, that's when the fireworks happen. That's when two determined collectors get into a bidding war, driving prices up into the hundreds of thousands. Now, if you're picturing a bunch of quiet old men in dusty rooms trading coins, let me reset that image for you. Imagine the energy of a high-stakes poker game in Vegas. Hands shaking, eyes locked, hearts pounding. That's the atmosphere at major coin auctions when one of these 2005 no-mint mark pennies hits the floor. And here's the kicker. The coin doesn't have to be ancient. This isn't a 19th century artifact. It's modern. It's sitting in the same world as TikTok, smartphones, and hybrid cars. That's why it's so shocking. Let's pause for a second. Quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at the date and details on your pennies? Most people just see brown metal and toss it in a jar. And that right there is why fortunes get missed every single day. Now, I can almost feel your curiosity growing. And maybe a little panic too. What if you've already spent one of these? What if you walked past a $205,000 payday and didn't even know it? That's the fear that drives serious coin hunters, and it should drive you too. Here's your action plan. First, gather every penny you can find from 2005. Check the area just below the date. If there's no mint mark, no tiny D or S, you might have a contender. Next, assess its condition. The closer it looks to untouched, the higher the potential value. Finally, if you think you have something, don't just throw it on eBay. Get it authenticated and graded by a trusted coin service. The cost is nothing compared to the possible reward. And remember, this isn't just about one coin. Every rare penny you find is a step toward building wealth, a step toward that lifestyle you dream about, whether it's paying off debt, upgrading your home, or traveling the world. Imagine, just for a moment, the story you'll tell when you turn a single cent into a six-figure windfall. That's not just luck. That's opportunity meeting awareness. So here's your challenge. Tonight, after you watch this, go on your own treasure hunt. Check the change in your car, your coat pockets, that forgotten coffee can in the garage. Because somewhere out there, a 2005 no-mint mark penny is waiting to be found. And it might just be your ticket to a brand new chapter in life. If you're ready to uncover more hidden treasures in everyday coins, hit that subscribe button now, because the next video might reveal the coin that could make you a millionaire. And remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest fortunes. Have you ever had that gut-chilling moment when you realize something ordinary in your hand might be worth more than your car? Imagine fishing through your change jar, pulling out a dull copper penny, and finding out it could sell for over $200,000. That's not a fairy tale. That's the 2004 Memorial Lincoln penny, with no mint mark. A coin that most people will spend without a second thought. Yet, in the right condition, it could change your life. Before you rush to your wallet, let me warn you. These coins don't exactly jump out screaming, "I'm rare." They hide in plain sight, quietly passing through gas station counters and grocery store cash registers. And the people who spot them, they don't just get lucky. They know exactly what to look for. So here's the question. If I told you this penny could be your ticket to a wealthier future, would you know how to spot it? Or would you accidentally spend it on a pack of gum? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes you're going to learn not just the value, but the clues, the traps, and the secrets behind why this little copper disc could be worth up to millions. And the most important part? You'll understand why you need to act now before the market shifts. Let's start with what makes the 2004 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny special. Most pennies from 2004 were minted in Philadelphia or Denver. Denver pennies have a small D on the front, while Philadelphia ones are supposed to have no mint mark at all. But here's the twist. Certain production errors, unusual die conditions, and rare proof-like strikes make some of these pennies astronomically valuable. Picture this: millions of pennies being pressed day and night, the machinery spitting out coins at blinding speed. Every now and then, a die misalignment, a doubled image, or a perfect minting under exceptional conditions slips through. These are the coins collectors fight over. The top recorded sale? $204,000. Yes, for a single penny. That's not a typo. That's the price of a luxury home in some parts of the country. And it's not just about the minting error. Condition is everything. In the coin world, we call it grade. If your 2004 no mint mark penny has razor-sharp details, unbroken luster, and no wear, it could be worth more than your retirement savings. Here's where it gets tricky, and maybe a little funny. Some people find one, think it's rare, and then proudly tell a dealer, it's worth 6 figures, only to hear, "Sir, this is worth exactly 1 cent. Ouch. That's why knowing the exact markers matters. Now you might be wondering, how do I tell the difference between a penny worth thousands and one worth lunch money? Well, in a second I'll walk you through the visual cues and even the mistakes people make that cost them fortunes. But before that, let's talk about timing. The coin market moves like the tide. Values rise and fall based on collector demand, gold and copper prices, and auction trends. Right now, 2004 no mint mark memorial pennies in exceptional condition are hot. But this won't last forever. Imagine finding one today, only to learn 2 years from now that its value has dropped by half. That's the danger of waiting. Look at the date, 2004. Look for no mint mark under the date. If it's blank, keep going. Check the details. Lincoln's hair should be crisp, the steps on the Lincoln Memorial sharp and distinct. Examine for doubling, letters or numbers that appear shadowed or doubled. And above all, check condition. A single scratch can drop the value by thousands. If you find one that ticks all the boxes, don't just toss it into a jar. Get it professionally graded. A coin that looks pretty good to you could turn out to be a top-tier investment piece. Think about this. You could be holding a $200,000 penny right now without knowing it. And while you're deciding whether to check, someone else might already be cashing theirs in. This is your wake-up call. If you've got change lying around, dig through it. Look at every penny. Pay attention to detail. Because the people who build wealth from coins aren't just collectors. They're treasure hunters. And remember, the real tragedy isn't missing out because you didn't find one. It's missing out because you did have one, and you let it slip through your fingers. So here's your next move. Start checking your pennies today. If you find one that matches what I've described, get it graded, protect it, and understand its market timing. Subscribe now because I'll be revealing more rare coins hiding in plain sight. And trust me, you don't want to find out you had $1 million coin after it's already been spent by someone else. Your future wealth might just be sitting in your pocket. Picture this. You're cleaning out an old drawer. There's dust, a few receipts from 1998, and then there it is. A small, brown coin, barely worth a cent in most people's eyes. But in your hands, it could be worth $994,000. Sounds impossible, right? That's exactly what people thought before the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny started making headlines in the rare coin world. Now, before you start dumping out your piggy bank onto the kitchen floor, take a breath. We're about to go deep into why this coin is so rare, how to know if you have one, and the exact reason collectors will pay life-changing amounts of money for it. But here's the thing. Every day, another person discovers a treasure they've been carrying around unknowingly for years. The question is, will you be next? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this $1 million penny and how to make sure you don't accidentally spend it at the gas station. The 1994 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark shouldn't even exist. Most 1994 pennies were stamped in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, but a small, almost mythical batch left the mint without any identifying mark. A minting oversight that turned ordinary coins into extraordinary fortunes. Now, let's break this down. In the coin world, rarity is king. But rarity alone isn't enough. A coin has to have a story. And this penny's story is one of human error, survival, and the sheer odds of it ending up in your hands. Think of it like finding a 4-leaf clover, except the clover pays for your mortgage and a beach house in Hawaii. So, why the massive price tag? It's simple. Coin collectors, serious ones, are like art investors. They don't just buy metal. They buy history, uniqueness, and the prestige of owning something no one else can. But here's the part most people miss. Condition matters. A worn, scratched 1994 no mint mark penny might sell for hundreds, maybe thousands. But a flawless, uncirculated version? That's where we hit the $994,000 jackpot. And here's where fear comes in. Every single day, rare coins are lost forever, spent without a second thought, melted down or thrown away. Which means, every day your chances of finding one get smaller. So, how do you know if the penny in your pocket could be worth more than your car? That's exactly what we're uncovering next. First, grab a magnifying glass. Look right under the date. No tiny D or S. You might just have the real deal. Next, check the condition. Smooth, clear details. No deep scratches. And for the biggest paydays, look for coins that have never seen the inside of a vending machine. Now imagine this: you find the penny. You authenticate it with a reputable grading service. And then you watch as bidders fight for it at auction, the price climbing higher, your heart pounding, until the hammer falls just shy of $1 million. Not bad for something you could have found between the couch cushions. Transition to final emotional punch. But here's the truth. Opportunities like this don't wait around. Rare coins like the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny are disappearing into private collections, never to be seen again. The window is closing. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, after this video, check your change jar. Dig through those drawers. Ask your parents, your grandparents, because your future dream, the house, the freedom, the security, could already be in your hands. Final cliffhanger call to action. And if you do find it, that's when your real story begins. Subscribe now, because in my next video, I'll reveal the other common coin quietly selling for over $1 million. And you might already own it. Imagine opening an old jar of coins in your kitchen drawer and finding a penny. One that looks just like the others, but it could pay off your mortgage, buy you a vacation home, and leave you with enough left over to retire early. Sounds like fiction, right? Well, it's not. Today we're talking about a coin that most people overlook. The 1991 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark. Current market value? $991,000. That's right. Just shy of $1 million for something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up on the street. Here's the scary part. People throw these away every day because they have no idea what they're holding. That's like tossing a winning lottery ticket in the trash. And I don't know about you, but the thought of losing out on almost $1 million makes my palms sweat. So if you're thinking, sure, but my penny's probably not special, think again. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to tell if you've been sitting on a small fortune. But be warned, the clock is ticking, and the opportunity might not be around forever. Before we dive in, quick question. How many pennies do you have in your house right now? 10? 50? Enough to fill a jar? Hold on to that number, because in a few minutes you might be looking at them very differently. Let's rewind to 1991. The US Mint was pumping out billions of Lincoln pennies, but a small number slipped through without the identifying mint mark that tells you where they were made. This tiny missing detail turned them into rare collectibles, and as any collector knows, rarity drives value through the roof. No mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. But here's the twist. Most 1991 Philadelphia pennies are worth just a cent. It's only a small fraction with near-perfect preservation, error-free strikes, and exceptional luster that climb into the six-figure range. This is where fear meets opportunity. The fear? Someone else might find the coin you've been overlooking for years. The opportunity? You could be the one selling it instead. Now, let's break down the key signs. Yours might be one of the lucky ones. First, check for sharp detail. Lincoln's hair strands should look crisp, not worn smooth. Second, look at the fields, that's the background. A mirror-like shine or flawless surface can add zeros to the price. Third, check for color. Bright red or red-brown tones are more desirable than dull brown. If you're thinking, wait, I'm not a coin expert, how do I even know if I've got the right thing? Here's the humor break. You don't need a magnifying glass, a lab coat, and a secret government clearance. You just need a good light, a little patience, and a willingness to treat each penny like it could be a golden ticket. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some of these pennies have gone from pocket change to nearly $1 million at auction. Not because they're gold, but because collectors are locked in a bidding war for perfection. The last record-breaking sale? Let's just say it could have bought you a beach house in Florida. Picture this, you've just learned what to look for. You dig through your old jars, check that box in your closet, or sort through that dusty coffee can in your garage. Your heart races because you spot one that's gleaming, flawless, and yes, no mint mark. You send it for grading, the results come back. And you realize you're now holding a $991,000 coin. At that moment, everything changes. Your bills are no longer a monthly stress. You're booking the vacation you've put off for years. Maybe you're helping your kids buy their first home, or finally starting that business you've been dreaming about. But here's the urgency. Rare coins like this don't just sit on the market forever. Values fluctuate. Interest spikes and fades. What's worth nearly $1 million today could be less tomorrow if the market shifts. The time to check is now, before another lucky finder beats you to it. And here's your cliffhanger. There's an even rarer penny from the early 90s that's quietly climbing in value right now, and hardly anyone knows about it yet. We'll be revealing that in an upcoming video. And trust me, you'll want to see it before the news breaks, so here's what to do. Right after this video, grab your change jars, sort your pennies, and inspect every single 1991 for that missing mint mark. If you find one, you could be the next person cashing in on a life-changing payday. If you want more insider tips on coins worth money, the ones sitting in plain sight, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. You never know when the next $1 million coin could be hiding in your pocket. Imagine this. You reach into your pocket. You feel the cold edge of a penny. You toss it onto the counter without thinking. But what if that single penny could buy you a house? What if it could buy you 10 houses? What if it could make you a millionaire? Today we are talking about one coin, a 1990 Lincoln Memorial no mint mark penny that most people overlook, and yet one rare example recently sold for a staggering $990,000. Yes, almost $1 million. For 1 cent, and here's the frightening truth. Millions of these pennies passed through the hands of people who never knew what they had. They spent them, lost them, let them vanish into change jars. Gone forever. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot this coin, why it's worth so much, and how you might already have one hiding in plain sight. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be the difference between tossing away a penny and holding a fortune. Before we talk value, let's step back. The year is 1990. George H. W. Bush is president. Gas is about $1 a gallon, and the U.S. Mint is producing billions of pennies. But somewhere, in the process, a mistake happened. A certain batch of 1990 Lincoln Memorial cents left the mint without a mint mark. That small D or S you're used to seeing. Missing. No one noticed at first. No alarms went off. Now here's where it gets thrilling. The no mint mark error is so subtle that even coin collectors have to look twice. You might think, well, big deal, no letter. But in the coin world, tiny details can mean giant payouts. And in this case, the rarity is extreme. Here's the first thing to check. Under the year 1990, just above the date, there should be a small mint mark, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or nothing for Philadelphia. But in this case, nothing doesn't mean Philadelphia. It means error. It means jackpot. Pattern interrupt. If you just glanced at the penny in your wallet and dropped everything to look. Good. You're officially in the Coin Hunters Club. Now, you might ask, why on earth would someone pay nearly $1 million for a penny? Because collectors crave what's rare. And in the world of numismatics, rarity plus perfect condition equals money beyond reason. Here's a twist. Most 1990 no mint mark pennies in circulation are worn out, scratched, or damaged. But if you find one in pristine condition, sharp edges, no scratches, original luster, that's where the magic happens. And yes, $990,000 magic. Here's the urgent part. Every year, more of these rare pennies vanish. They get melted down, lost, forgotten. Which means the ones still out there are only getting rarer and more valuable. So here's what you do tonight. Go through your change jars, your drawers, the old coffee can in the garage. Look at every 1990 penny. Focus on the area under the year. If there's no mint mark and the coin is in exceptional condition, don't spend it, protect it. Then, get it graded by a reputable coin grading service. That small step could be your ticket to life-changing money. And remember, opportunities don't wait. Every day someone unknowingly spends one of these pennies at face value. Do you want to be the one who finds it? or the one who loses it. We've just scratched the surface of rare US coins worth serious money. If you want to turn your pocket change into wealth, and I mean real wealth, stay with me. Because the next coin I'm going to reveal makes even this 1990 penny look like spare change. It's smaller, older, and worth more than most luxury cars. And I'll tell you exactly what it is in our next video. What if I told you a single penny hiding in your pocket right now could be worth more than your house? And it's from 1989. Yes, the year of shoulder pads, cassette tapes, and the Berlin Wall. Also the year of a Lincoln Memorial penny so rare, one just sold for $989,000. Before you think, come on, it's just a penny, ask yourself, if you threw away a fortune because you didn't know what to look for, how would that feel? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you exactly why. This ordinary-looking coin could be your ticket to financial freedom, and how time is running out to find one before the market changes forever. The 1989 Lincoln Memorial penny is a coin most people have seen and ignored 1,000 times. It has Abraham Lincoln on the front, the memorial on the back. Nothing special at first glance. But here's the twist. Some of these coins left the mint without a mint mark. And in numismatics, a missing mint mark can transform a coin from pocket change into a life-changing asset. Why? Because a missing mint mark isn't a casual mistake. It's a minting anomaly, proof that something went wrong at the US Mint, and collectors pay fortunes for those rare slips. It's kind of like buying a rare baseball card, except this one's been sitting under your couch cushions, and your cat's been using it as a toy. Imagine holding this penny in your hand. The weight feels the same, the color's the same, but your heartbeat knows it's different. It's your golden ticket. One coin like this can pay off your mortgage, wipe your debts, and still leave you with enough to finally take that trip you've been putting off for years. But here's the fear you need to face. Most people have already thrown theirs away without knowing. Every day, these coins are disappearing into bank sorting machines, melting pots, and scrap copper sales, never to be found again. Now let's talk numbers. Regular 1989 pennies are worth 1 cent, but the no mint mark version, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition, has fetched auction prices nearing $989,000. That's not a typo. That's nearly $1 million for a single penny. And the real kicker? These coins are hiding in places you'd never expect. And I'll tell you exactly where to start looking in just a moment. Start with the change in your kitchen jar, your glove compartment, your old dresser drawers. Check rolls of pennies from the bank. Yes, some still slip through. Yard sales, flea markets, and estate sales? Absolute gold mines. People sell jars of junk coins for a few dollars, never realizing one could be worth more than a Ferrari. But here's the truth. This opportunity won't last forever. Collectors are hunting these coins down like sharks in a feeding frenzy. Every month that passes, the available supply drops, and so does your chance of finding one. You don't want to be the person who says, I used to have one of those, but I spent it. That's like discovering you had a winning lottery ticket, but used it as a grocery list. Right now, someone is cashing in on this. Could be you. The only thing standing between you and a 6- or 7-figure payday is knowledge. And now you have it. Don't just put this video aside. Tonight, start searching. Your future self will thank you. And if you want more insider tips on rare coins that could change your life, subscribe now, because the next coin I reveal might just be worth even more than this one. And here's the part you didn't see coming. The most valuable Lincoln penny ever discovered wasn't from the 80s at all. But that's a story for our next video. Imagine this. You're sipping your morning coffee, casually emptying the change from your pocket. You glance at a penny, and in less than 5 minutes, that tiny copper coin could change the rest of your life. Sounds like a fantasy? Not today. Because today we're talking about one of the most shocking hidden treasures in American coin history, the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. A coin that, in rare cases, has been valued at up to $988,000. Now here's the crazy part. You might already have it. Right now. Sitting in your desk drawer, your coin jar, or even rattling around in your car's cup holder. Before you think, come on, it's just a penny. Remember, the person who last sold one for nearly $1 million probably thought the same, until an expert told them otherwise. Stay with me, because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to spot it, why it's so rare, and what to do if you find one. And trust me, you'll want to check every single penny you touch after this. First, let's set the stage. It's 1988. The Berlin Wall is still standing. The internet isn't in every home, and pennies are everywhere in American life. But somewhere inside the Philadelphia Mint, a quiet, almost invisible mistake happens, and it changes everything. Here's what makes the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny so special. These coins were minted without the identifying mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just nothing. It was a minting oversight so rare, it slipped past inspectors and landed in circulation. In a world of billions of pennies, only a handful were made this way, and even fewer survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now, here's the twist. The value of this penny isn't just about rarity. It's about condition. A worn 1988 no-mint mark penny might fetch a small premium. But one in near-perfect condition? That's where the magic happens. That's where we've seen auction results closing in on $988. 000. Imagine finding one in a roll of pennies you got from the bank. That little paper roll. Suddenly worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. And here's where fear kicks in, because if you don't know what to look for, you could spend one of these rare coins at the grocery store without realizing it, handing away your $1,000,000 ticket for a stick of gum. Now, a quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever thought about how weird it is that we bend over to pick up a penny off the street, but we roll our eyes if someone talks about penny collecting? Yet here we are, talking about a penny worth more than most luxury sports cars. So how do you spot the real thing? Look closely at the date 1988. And under the year you should see nothing. No tiny letter. That's your first sign. Second, examine the coin's details. The sharper and cleaner the strike, the better your chances of having a high-grade piece. If you find one, don't clean it. Don't touch it with bare fingers. Place it gently in a protective holder. And then comes the fun part. Here's the exciting and urgent part. These coins are so rare, collectors and investors are in constant competition for them. If one hits the market in flawless condition, the bidding war can be brutal. And that's good news for you. But there's also a ticking clock. As time passes, more coins get lost, damaged, or locked away in private collections. That means the number of available pieces is shrinking, and the value for the remaining ones? Rising. This is where excitement meets urgency. Every day you wait to check your coins is another day someone else could find theirs and claim the spotlight, and the fortune that could have been yours. What if the next coin you spend is the one worth $988,000? What if that next trip to the store, the penny you drop in the tip jar, was your ticket to financial freedom? Check your change. Check your jars. Check those dusty boxes in the attic. And when you find something, don't just hold on to it, act. Contact a reputable coin dealer or auction house and see just how close you are to holding $1,000,000 between your fingers. If you're ready to turn pocket change into life-changing money, make sure you subscribe right now, because in our next video, I'm going to reveal another penny hiding in plain sight that has sold for even more than this one. Remember, wealth doesn't always arrive in stacks of cash. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Imagine this: you're sitting at the kitchen table, sipping your morning coffee. A penny slips out of your pocket and rolls across the table. You pick it up without thinking. But what if I told you that this tiny copper coin could be worth nearly $1,000,000? Not a typo. The current market value for one rare 1987 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny has hit $987,000. Yes, for a single cent. Now, here's the scary part: most people who owned one of these rare pennies have already spent them without knowing. They've slipped into coin jars, grocery store tills, or worse, vending machines. That's $1,000,000 gone for a pack of gum. So here's the urgent question: do you have one? And if you do, would you even know what to look for? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you why this coin is so rare, how to identify it instantly, and exactly what to do if you find one before it vanishes into someone else's pocket forever. But first, let's answer the question everyone's wondering. How did a simple penny become worth more than some luxury homes? Back in 1987, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln Memorial cents. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, all churning out coins, but a tiny fraction left the presses missing one critical detail: the mint mark. Now, normally Philadelphia coins don't carry a mint mark, but here's the twist: certain production errors, die variations, and uncirculated conditions have made a handful of these coins almost mythical in rarity. We're talking about coins in pristine, untouched condition, coins that still carry the sharp strike, perfect luster, and microscopic details collectors dream of. Picture Ida. Wealthy collector at an auction, the bidding starts at 50,000 a hand, goes up in the back 60, 70. Then 100,000 in just minutes. The price rockets toward a staggering $987,000, not because it's gold, not because it's encrusted with jewels, but because it's perfect, because it's irreplaceable. Now here's your first cliffhanger, and I promise we'll come back to it. The most valuable 1987 penny isn't sitting in a museum, it could be sitting in someone's kitchen drawer right now, maybe even yours. Before we dive into exactly what to look for, let me throw you a curveball. Did you know there are people right now making six-figure incomes hunting coins at flea markets and garage sales? It sounds like a late-night TV scam, but I assure you, this is real, and your 1987 penny could be your ticket. And here's the checklist to spot the jackpot. Number 1. Look for the year 1987 on the obverse, or front, of the coin. Number 2. Check that there's no letter beneath the date, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, nothing at all. Number 3. Condition matters. The fewer scratches, the sharper the detail, the higher the value if you're lucky enough to find one in uncirculated condition. Stop. Do not clean it. Do not toss it in a jar. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service immediately, because here's the truth. Once these coins disappear into private collections, they almost never hit the market again, and when they do, the bidding war can change a person's life overnight. So I'll leave you with this thought while you're watching this video. There's a chance, however small, that one of these rare pennies is already in your home. It's waiting in a coin jar. It's hiding between the couch cushions, and if you don't check, you'll never know. And if you do find one, you might just be holding the key to a life of freedom, comfort, and security, but that key won't turn itself. Check your coins now. For more insider secrets on coins worth real money, subscribe right now, because the next coin I'm going to tell you about could be even rarer and even more valuable, and you won't want to miss it. Imagine opening an old drawer, finding a dusty little penny, and realizing it's worth nearly $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? Well, for a handful of lucky people, that impossible dream is their reality. And today, I'm going to show you how one of the most common coins in American history, the 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny, can be the key to unimaginable wealth. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. I can't even buy a stick of gum with it. And you'd be right if we were talking about any ordinary penny. But this one can change the rest of your life. The scary truth is, most people have already spent theirs without ever knowing. And that's where the fear sets in. What if you've already lost yours? Let's rewind to 1984. Ronald Reagan was in the White House. The Summer Olympics lit up Los Angeles, and the U.S. Mint was quietly producing millions of Lincoln Memorial cents. But among those millions, a few came out different. They carried a hidden mistake. A flaw so small you'd never notice it unless you knew exactly what to look for. Here's where it gets exciting. No mint mark. That means there's no P or D on the coin. While Philadelphia-made pennies typically have no mint mark, certain 1984 versions carry a die variety or doubling error so rare that collectors are ready to pay close to $1 million for one in pristine condition. This is where your pulse should quicken, because if you have one of these in mint state, it's game over for your financial worries. Now, here's a question to reset your attention. If you had to choose between finding a winning lottery ticket or finding a rare coin in your change jar, which would you pick? Trick question. The rare coin might actually be worth more, and you don't even have to gamble. The emotional build, think about it. You've been carrying coins your entire life. Coins you've tossed into coffee shop tip jars, lost between couch cushions, or left rattling in your car's cup holder. Point one of them could have been the key to a debt-free, wealthy future. Now the fear is real. Every day that passes, coins like this get scratched, damaged, or melted down. And once they're gone forever. Let me paint you a picture. Point one man in Ohio found his 1984 penny in an old coin roll he bought for $25 at a garage sale. He didn't think much of it until a coin dealer's eyes nearly popped out of his head. That single penny sold for $984,000 at auction. That's a house. That's early retirement. That's the ability to help your family, travel the world, and live without the constant stress of bills. But here's the catch. You have to act before the opportunity slips away. That if you have old coins, especially pennies from the 1980s, you need to check them now. Look for sharp details, no mint mark, and unusual doubling on the design. Even a slightly lower grade version can still fetch thousands. Here's the cliffhanger. The 1984 penny isn't the only coin hiding this kind of secret. In fact, There are others out there in your change right now worth even more. But you'll never find them unless you start looking today. Closing with urgency and authority. Every great fortune starts with a single decision: to pay attention to the opportunities others overlook. This little copper coin has changed lives. The only question is, will it change yours? Subscribe now, because in my next video, I'll reveal another ordinary coin you might already own. One that could be worth even more than the 1984 penny. Don't miss it. What if I told you that a single penny you've probably seen 100 times could be your ticket to nearly $1 million? Yes, 1 cent, worth $978,000 in today's market. And here's the kicker: most people who've held one didn't even know it. Pause for emphasis right now. There's a small army of collectors, dealers, and investors hunting for a coin you might have in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or that coffee can in your garage. The 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny. Why this matters if you're between 30 and 65, this isn't just about coin collecting. It's about unlocking hidden wealth in the everyday. It's about turning a small, overlooked detail into a life-changing windfall. Lean in tone, because the person who understands this opportunity today could be the person who never has to worry about retirement, bills, or the rising cost of wealth. Everything. Humorous pattern interrupt, and before you say, "Who keeps pennies anymore?" Trust me, the guy who just sold his for close to $1 million is definitely keeping pennies now. The mystery of the 1978 no-mint Mark penny. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The U.S. Mint struck millions of pennies in 1978. Most carried small mint marks from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But a small batch, due to a fascinating minting anomaly, came out with no mint mark at all. They looked ordinary, they spent like any other penny, but they weren't. Why so valuable? In the world of coin collecting, rarity meets demand like gasoline meets fire. When a coin has a limited number of survivors, a flaw or unusual feature in high-grade preservation, its value skyrockets. And in this case, the demand from elite collectors is so fierce, the price has climbed into the hundreds of thousands. Cliffhanger transition. But here's the thing. You could have one in your possession right now and still not recognize it. So how do you know if your penny is the penny? The identification process. First, you'll need a magnifying glass, or even better, a jeweler's loupe. Look closely. The date should read 1978. There should be no mint mark beneath the date. The coin's details, Lincoln's profile, the lettering, the memorial building on the reverse, should be razor sharp, indicating minimal wear. Humorous pattern interrupt, and no, biting the coin to check if it's real won't help. That's for pirates and chocolate coins. Condition is everything. Even if you find one, not all 1978 no-mint mark pennies will fetch millions. The highest grade examples, often graded MS-67 or higher by professional services, are where the jaw-dropping prices come from. Storytelling beat. The lucky finder. I spoke with a man in his late 50s who found his in a dusty coin jar while cleaning out his father's garage. It had been sitting there since the late 70s. He sent it for grading. 2 months later, an auction house wired him a life-changing sum. He didn't just pay off his mortgage, he retired early. Urgency trigger. Now here's the scary part. Every day, more of these coins disappear forever. Melted down, damaged, or simply lost in circulation. Every day you wait, your odds get smaller. The path forward: if you're serious about finding one of these coins, start now. Search your old change jars, ask family members to check their stashes, visit estate sales and flea markets, and learn how to spot that no mint mark detail instantly. Cliffhanger before closing, because here's the reality. Someone will find the next $978,000 penny this year. The question is, will it be you? Inspirational close. Your financial breakthrough might not come from Wall Street, Silicon Valley, or a lottery ticket. It might be hiding in plain sight, light enough to carry in your pocket, powerful enough to rewrite your story. Final push. So check your pennies. Guard the ones that matter. And remember, sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest value. If you want more insider secrets on coins worth life-changing money, subscribe now. I'll guide you through the hidden treasures most people overlook, so you can live the wealthy life you've always imagined. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. It's copper, it's small, and it looks like it's only worth 1 cent. But what if I told you that tiny coin could change your life forever? Yes, the 1973 Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin most people toss into a jar without a second thought. But in rare cases, it's worth up to $973,000 on today's market. Now pause for a second. What would you do if you found one in your home? Pay off your mortgage? Retire early? Or maybe take that first-class trip you've been dreaming about since the 90s? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify one of these life-changing pennies. But beware, most people miss the signs, and when they finally find out, the opportunity is long gone. Let's not let that happen to you. The year is 1973. Gas prices are low, Elvis is still alive, and the US Mint is busy striking millions of Lincoln pennies. But here's the twist. Out of all those coins, a few had subtle mistakes that transformed them into treasures. Now before you think, well, I'll just check my couch cushions, let me warn you, the valuable ones aren't just old. They're rare because of minting quirks, high-grade condition, and the D-Mint mark from Denver. Collectors are not just looking for any 1973 D penny. They want red, brilliant, uncirculated examples. The kind that still glows like it just came off the press yesterday. And if there's a unique strike error or doubling, that's when the price leaps from pocket change to a near $1 million payday. Let me break this down. A regular 1973 D penny. A cent of pristine, high-grade error coin? That's where the $973,000 headline comes in. Now, you might be thinking, all right, but how do I even know if mine's worth something? Good question. We're about to get into that. But first, imagine this scenario. You find the coin, but you scratch it with your fingernail trying to clean it. Congratulations. You've just shaved hundreds of thousands off its value. Ouch. So rule number 1, never clean it. Never polish it. Keep it exactly as it is. Here's where the real treasure hunt begins. First, take out every old coin jar you have, the one in your kitchen, the one in your garage, the one your granddad gave you and you tossed in a drawer 20 years ago. You're looking for a 1973 penny with a D mark right below the date. Next, check the condition. If it looks like it just came from the bank in 1973, you might have something special. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and coat-strong edges with no wear glossy, almost mirror-like surface. If you see doubling on the letters or numbers, especially in Liberty or the date, you could be staring at your ticket to financial freedom. But here's the urgency. The coin market is heating up. Every year, more collectors are chasing fewer surviving high-grade coins. And when demand explodes, so does value. That means the window to sell at the top of the market is closing fast. Imagine telling your family, this penny just paid for our new home. That's not a fantasy. It's happening right now for people who know what to look for. Now you know what to look for. But knowledge without action? That's just another missed opportunity. Go find your coins. Check every single one. If you think you have something, get it authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Because the only thing worse than missing the treasure is finding it and selling it for pennies. Closing cliffhanger call to action, and here's the kicker. There's another Lincoln penny out there from the 1970s that's even rarer than the 1973 D, but hardly anyone knows about it.in. My next video, I'll reveal exactly which one it is and why it could be the most valuable. Penny of the decade. So subscribe now, because missing that video could cost you the biggest payday of your life. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old shoebox in your attic. Between a faded birthday card and a paperclip, you see a dull copper coin. It's a 1969 D Lincoln penny. You think, worth a cent, maybe? What if I told you that exact coin could sell for nearly $1 million today? Yes, $969,000. From a penny. Pause, pattern interrupt. Sounds crazy, right? Like saying your morning coffee is actually made of gold. But here's the kicker. Coins like this are hiding in pockets, drawers, and piggy banks all over America right now. Set the emotional stage now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions. Listen closely. Because if you don't know exactly what to look for, you could give away a fortune without even knowing it. And believe me, it's happened before. Smooth transition. So, how can a single 1969 D Memorial Lincoln penny be worth a luxury mansion? Let's step back and uncover the story. Because it's not just about copper, it's about history, rarity, and a twist of fate. Build curiosity. Back in 1969, the Denver Mint was producing billions of pennies. Ordinary coins for ordinary people. But among those billions, a few were different. They carried a mistake. A tiny, almost invisible imperfection that turned them from spare change into a treasure chest. Cliffhanger. What was that mistake? I'll tell you in a second. But first, you need to know why collectors are obsessed with it. The rarity factor in the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. And errors, real, verifiable minting errors, are like royal jewels. The rarer the error, the higher the price. In this case, the 1969 D Pennies magic lies in a double die obverse. A minting slip-up where the design is struck twice, slightly off. Look closely and Lincoln's portrait, the date, and even the lettering appear doubled, like a ghostly shadow. Humorous reset. Think of it as the coin version of double vision. Except instead of needing glasses, you need a professional coin grader. Urgency trigger. Now here's where it gets urgent. Many people who have this penny don't even know it. They spend it, toss it in a jar, or worse, give it to the cashier at the gas station. That's like handing away a Ferrari for bus fare. Seamless transition. But before you assume any 1969 D penny will make you rich, here's the truth bomb. Most are worth just a cent. Only the rare double die versions, in pristine condition, reach the mind-blowing value of $969,000. And the difference between a penny and a payday is in the tiniest of details. Inspiration and payoff. Picture it. You're holding a penny you've owned for decades. You send it to a grading service, and a few weeks later, the phone rings. Your coin just sold at auction for nearly $1 million. Your life changes overnight. Debt's gone, dream home bought, freedom unlocked. Let me ask you, what would you do first with $1 million penny? Pay off your house? Travel the world? Finally buy that ridiculous sports car you've been daydreaming about? Before you run off checking every penny in sight, here's the final twist. Fakes exist. And if you can't tell the real from the fake, you could get burned. In my next video, I'll reveal the 3 foolproof tests to spot a genuine 1969 D double die penny from a counterfeit. Miss that, and you might miss your fortune. So here's what to do now. Go through your coins. Look for 1969 D pennies with doubling on the date and letters. If you think you've got one, don't spend it, protect it, get it graded, and find a reputable auction house. And if you want more insider tips that could turn your spare change into life-changing wealth, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and join me. Your next coin could be your ticket to freedom.